I'm going to give you a short introduction to the athletic performance of the experiences that started back in 1994, I believe, when the dietary supplement industry started. And I shared an office with Dr. Bob Ward, who was a conditioning icon at the Olympic world class uh, athletic competition and professional football athletes. And it was quite a educational experience. And I am writing a chapter in a book that covers multiple experiences that you must realize that I was so drug oriented that I was having a hard time accepting that more comprehensive nutrition could be so effective in human performance. So with that, we'll start out with this few high points of experiences from the past. I call this Zoom lecture the subtle athletic effects of Aloe Acemannan because I was having a hard time believing what I was seeing and hearing from people about the power of more comprehensive nutrition and its effects on human performance. One of the problems was that with Dr. Bob Ward, we had a Saturday national conference with people interested in this. And a lady came on that was very antagonistic, that she was told it was an important program, but it was all about athletes, and she had absolutely no interest in athletes and felt like we were wasting her time. I was kind of surprised at my response to her from having been in the office with Dr. Ward, and that I pointed out that human beings have extra capacity designed in them. For example, a person in good health, that something happens, you take out one of the lungs, they can function with just one lung, just about like you couldn't detect that they only had one lung. Now they don't go out and do athletic performance, but for just everyday activity, you couldn't tell it. And the same thing about the kidney, which is that in your normal lay population, you can give them more comprehensive nutrition and they may or may not improve because they have so much extra capacity in the body. And it even gets into some of the biochemical productions of the liver, that more than is needed is present. So you have to take athletes that are at the top of their human performance capabilities and give them more comprehensive nutrition to see if you get an increment of increased ability, strength, endurance, reactive times. And so that's one of the main things that we ran into. Now, one of the things that you'll find in the chapter I've written in a book that I call Sail No Charted Seas about our experiences starting back in 1985 when I was first brought in as a consultant to Carrington Laboratories' goal that they had raised $20 million to make or to find the active ingredient in aloe leaf gel and make it into an FDA-approved pharmaceutical drug. The application was rejected because we could show absolutely no toxicity, which is heresy in the medical field. The father of pharmacology, Paracelsus, about 500 years ago, he was the most noted person in history in Switzerland, that his most famous statement was, quote, all drugs are poisons. The benefit depends on the dose, unquote. And pharmaceutical drugs get their benefit to suppress symptoms and levels of deleterious products that the body makes. And the ideal drug, if you quit taking it, the symptoms and the problems come back because it interferes with the engineering and design of life as it's coded in the DNA of your chromosomes, whereas nutrition supports the engineering and design of life, as is the genes control the cellular synthesis of nutrient molecules being assembled to make bioactive compounds that run the physiology and biochemistry of life. Well, one of the first things we found out with more comprehensive nutrition, there was more rapid athletic conditioning, which sometimes takes weeks or months to achieve, but very rapidly it occurs with more comprehensive nutrition. Dr. Ward brought in experts that show there was not only clinical evidence of increased strength, but that you could quantitate with instruments that are designed to test the strength. You could also, with these instruments, show that there was more endurance. You could continue performing longer. You could increase the speed. You can increase the rate of recovery from exhaustion from fatigue. And that even in maxed out professionals operating at the peak of human performance, that there was increased capacities for strength, endurance, speed, and even aged athletes performed as in their youth when you added this to their diet. And that's all in the chapter that I've written in the book. Now, the first cases were anecdotal, and the individuals were just amazed at their increased capacities before and after the nutraceuticals were added to their diet. And Dr. George Kondrasky, a PhD from the University of Texas, Arlington, worked with Dr. Bob Ward, who had his doctorate in the biochemistry and physiology of performance, to prove what we were hearing anecdotally had a scientific basis. And this was first published in the Fisher Institute for Medical Research, Volume 2, Number 1, in August of 2000. And of course, the research question in all of these examinations was, did more comprehensive nutrition enhance vision, muscle reactions, and mental acuity? What you're seeing with your eyes and your body awareness of the different where your arms and legs and body is all contributed to performance. And does nutrition improve the accuracy and the coordination of these capacities of human performance? Now, the paper that's published in Fisher Proceedings was a 33-year-old Olympic bobsled athlete, and it's in the bobsled competition, the sensing of the gravity and speed and all is very critical. And this was improved by the addition of dietary supplements. And this paper goes into the activity of the genes that are activated and supported by more comprehensive nutrition to improve all these capacities of human performance, which are very critical in a bobsled Olympic athlete. So we would put a teaspoon of the glyconutrient formulation primarily built around the active ingredient from the aloe plant, which was acetylated mannose, better termed acemannan. And then the performance capacities were measured quantitatively with instruments to give you numbers rather than just, well, I can do more, or I'm sharper, which are just not digital information. Uh, the instruments that were brought in, some of them, they were 15 years in development. It's not an easy quest for a researcher to be able to develop devices that you could bring in to measure strength, endurance, recovery, and the acute improvements of human performance. So the instrument was called a BEP, or multiple module server, that had a computer attached to it. And you could not only measure lower extremities motor control, but upper strength, and then grip strength. And with this, you had a heart monitor that was a good indicator of how the body was responding to the increased performance that they were going through. And if you're well conditioned, the heart rate will go up but not be excessive. This is just one of the uh, capacities of measurement that is in the published paper. And they use the upper extremity combined with the visual, because what you see with your eyes and what you feel with your body part awareness all contribute to your ability to perform. And they went through all these different uh, performance dimensions that you see listed here, and how the device was used to measure this, and then what the numeral numbers generated are in the units to the far right. And this was an effort to try to put science to anecdotal reports that people were giving us of how they could do better. Now, this is an example of just the heart rate that was being generated during the performances there. And if you're not in condition, you can see at the top that the heart rate was about 101 beats per second. But after the rapid conditioning that comes from dietary supplementation, you can see that in these tests that were conducted in the previous slide, that the heart rate never went more than just about an average of 75 to 76 beats per second, which is good because it's not taking as much energy from the body just to operate the heart. And here's some other data that was collected in this journal article that scientists can look at and say, yes, the dietary supplementation does increase the ability of the neuromuscular activity of the body, and you can measure it in numbers and not just people saying, I feel better, I can do it better, or the time it takes me to do the entire event is shortened, or I can run faster. But this gets into why you can run faster and longer and recover from the exertion. Well, the conclusions of this scientists being brought in, that the high performance athlete provides a model for being able to detect that more comprehensive nutrition can increase the accuracy and the coordination of the performance of athletes. That there truly is rapid conditioning, as indicated by heartbeat, is reduced by going through all the different listed challenges to the athlete to be able to get the numbers to show that they increase their accuracy and their coordination and their strength. So this contributed to the athlete being able to truly know that nutrition is important in their total conditioning plan. And we were able to get, in this published paper, shows objective evidence that elite athletes can increase their accuracy and coordination of their performance for human activity in all athletic events. And so that is important to back up anecdotal reports that we got that I outline in the chapter of my book, Sail No Charted Seas. And I'm admitting that I was so drug oriented that I was having a hard time believing what I was seeing was the truth. And Dr. Ward brought in scientists to use their years that they had developed these instruments to give you quantitative data that their capacity to perform was improved by more comprehensive nutrition.